I know we don't really talk about basketball that much, but the Orlando Magic suck.
Welcome back, everyone, to another installment of the Amateur Sports Focus podcast. I'm Kai, and we will be joined later by Frankie as he filmed his own separate special segment to present to you guys. Told you guys we're gonna make this work, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So it's only been a week since I last spoke to y'all, but there is a lot that must be discussed. Namely, sell the damn team. Sell it. Green Bay Packers. Since when did you guys become the Jacksonville Jaguars? I used to hold myself in such a high regard being a Packers fan. I mean, look, being a Packers fan. And you guys have let me down this year. I said last week that if they lost to the Commanders, that I would burn all my jerseys. And guess what they went out and did? They lost to the Washington Commanders with Taylor Heineke, an ex-XFL football player, at quarterback. How? No. No excuses. Sell the team. I'm going to say some stuff right now that I don't want to be used against me if they start doing well. So I'm going to bleep most of it out. But here goes. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones actually can catch passes. Why don't you actually throw to him? I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. A.J. Dillon is one of the strongest running backs in the league behind Derrick Henry, and you're not going to run him? It's 4th and 1. What are we going to do? We're going to throw the ball 45 yards into the fans. And no, we're not going to give it to A.J. Dillon. Sammy Watkins, why did you even sign him? He's hurt, can never play. Romeo Dobbs, you're supposed to be good. You can't catch 4 passes that are thrown to you, especially one that would have converted the entire game. No. Oh, and Allen Lazard, you're okay, but maybe step it up a little bit. Robert Tonyan, why don't you actually throw to him? I don't know. Didn't he lead the league in tight end touchdowns 2 years ago? And he had an ACL injury, but he's a tight end. He wasn't built on speed. He can catch balls. Throw the damn ball to him. And whatever. Now I'm back. But yeah, I'm not going to burn my jerseys for one reason and one reason only. The 2 people I have jerseys of weren't the reason that the Packers lost. I have a Devontae Adams jersey. He's no longer on the team. I have a jersey that's customized with my name on it, with Aravena and 9 on the back. Obviously, it's not my fault. I can catch passes if Aaron Rodgers, an MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback, is throwing the balls directly in my chest. I'm going to be able to catch it. I'll reel it in. I don't care. I might not run the most pristine route because obviously I'm not an NFL player, but I'll still be able to catch the goddamn ball. You know what? What I'm going to do for you guys, just as a special treat, I'm going to record myself watching the Buffalo Bills and Packers football game this Sunday, and I will give you commentary as I'm watching it. It won't be live. I'll edit it afterwards because there will be a lot of stuff said about both teams that I don't want people to hear, namely curse words, obviously. But I will record it. I will have it out to you guys probably by Monday because I think they're the Sunday night game. But I hope we just don't get embarrassed. I mean, I'm hoping we win. I don't see that as a major possibility, but there's a shot. I mean, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are the Super Bowl favorites, were in the offseason and still are now. Well, I mean, I guess the Eagles because they're undefeated, but the Bills are still playing pretty well. Plus, the Bills are coming off a bye. We're coming off a loss. Aaron Rodgers hurt. I think Allen Lazard is hurt. Christian Watson's been hurt. Sammy Watkins is always hurt. It's not looking great for us, but it's whatever. I don't want to talk about the Packers anymore because it makes me angry, and I don't want to be angry on this podcast, even though that is kind of my thing. My thing is being angry on this podcast and also saying he was a first overall pick for a reason. Which brings me to my next point. Baker Mayfield. Stop playing football. Please. Baker Mayfield, on his first year with the Panthers, got Robbie Anderson traded and Christian McCaffrey traded with how poorly he was playing football. Christian McCaffrey is the most versatile and most useful player on any football team ever. Yes, he's gotten hurt for the last 2 seasons, but he hasn't this year, and he's still playing a lot. And he was bulletproof, and he was a workhorse for the first 3 years of him being in the league. And you get him traded in the first year you're there, I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey is not the problem with your team. Maybe it's your coaching and your quarterback situation. I get why McCaffrey would want to go to San Francisco. I mean, that's where he's from. He went to Stanford, I believe, when he was in college. But it's just that was a move that shook the NFL because it was just expected that he would play with Carolina his entire time. He was a staple of the Panthers. Him and Cam Newton are like, if you think of modern players that played for the Panthers, it's Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton. Luke Kuechly maybe, but that's a little bit older. Just insane, and it was pretty big news because they announced in the middle of a game, and then I don't know who was announcing the game. It was like, oh, by the way, Chris McCaffrey is being traded to the San Francisco 49ers. But I don't know. It's just kind of insane in my mind, but it's whatever. And baseball is getting interesting. Obviously, it's interesting because now it's the World Series between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros. And I don't even think the Phillies weren't projected to do very well this year. I know they got some star players. Like, obviously, they've had Bryce Harper. They got Nick Castellanos. They have Kyle Schwarber. All of those guys, coming alive in the postseason as they're paid to do. But Kyle Schwarber is just a bomb-hitting machine, and Bryce Harper is God? Question mark? Because he batted like 500 in the championship series, had like 2 bombs. He had the go-ahead bomb in the last game to send him to the World Series. It's just insane. And obviously, I want the Phillies to win. I don't like the Astros. I'm not like most people were like, Astros suck at all times. No, I'm fine with the Astros now. But still, Phillies, obviously, because Nick Castellanos, my favorite player. I love Bryce Harper. Kyle Schwarber, I don't mind. I like Zach Wheeler. I like, what's dude's name? Jesus, Syndergaard. I'm an idiot. I like all of them. So I want to see them do well. I want to see them get a World Series because I think that would be pretty cool. Plus, they're obviously the underdogs in this situation. But yeah, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it being a blowout by the Astros because obviously the Phillies are playing good baseball if they got here. So it'll be interesting to see. And I know Frankie is going to hit on some of that. So whenever I send him off or send you guys to him, you'll probably hear more about the baseball in the World Series. But I just wanted to say some things about MLB because it's interesting, and like normally my rule with baseball is like I'll only watch the game if I'm interested in the team. The only team I'm interested in ever is the Rays, but it's a World Series. I have to watch baseball now, so I think that'll be fun. But yeah. Oh, on another sports related note, do you guys know how I can tell that the women's basketball team here at NYU is in fact a D3 team? It's because they are all shorter than me. I was in the gym today. Okay, first off, I go to the gym and I walk in. There's a fire drill in 2 minutes. You might want to leave. So it's like, okay, this will take 5 minutes because there was another fire drill at my dorm this morning that took, I don't know, 10. So then I go outside, just wait there. Then I wait for the alarm to go off. And then we're out there for 47 minutes waiting. Why? 47. It's not like you're taking attendance of who was already there because you don't know who was already in there. Because it's not like you have a sheet of every single person that's ever entered the damn building. So we waited there for 47 minutes, and then we walk in. Then, I normally work out at 2. No, sorry, at 1. But then I ended up starting working out at 2:50 or 1:50 because of the stupid fire drill. It made no sense, and I have no idea why. But then I go in, and the women's basketball team apparently has that time as well. So I'm working out while they are, and noticing that these are college basketball players that are shorter than 5'9". I am 5'9". I think there was one of them that was taller than me. And obviously nothing against. They're very good. They win a lot. And obviously basketball isn't always based on height. Sure, it helps, but there isn't a lot of dunking that happens first off even in college anyway. So I don't think they just got to shoot. And obviously it works, so I have nothing against it. It's just funny to see because they're all wearing the NYU basketball and they're all shorter than me. So that boosted my ego just a little bit. I will say that. Just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, so I'm gonna send you guys over to Frankie, and he'll talk to you guys for a little bit, and then we'll bring it back here. Okay?
What's up, boys and girls? So, I'm in a little different area, as you see. I'm at work, but I'm still going to do this segment for you because I got a lot of things on my mind. So I just want to talk about the Miami Dolphins and their game on Sunday Night Football. Pretty good. I'm going to say it's the best game, but, with Tua coming back, he looked really good on the first drive, and I was really excited for that game just because he's back, and he looked really good that first drive. It looked like it was going to be a blowout kind of, and turns out it turns into a defensive game. Yet, when the Steelers, Brian Flores used to be an old coach for the Dolphins, I was expecting a defensive kind of game, and usually defense is something that we haven't really been good at, and I was just excited that we got the win regardless because we took 3 losses in a row and to come back, and now we're sitting 6th in the wild card spot. So we play the Lions this week, and I know it's not going to be an easy game because their offense is top 5 and our defense is not, and we have a lot of injuries because Brandon Jones is on the IR now. He was our best blitzing safety and our best safety in general, and so now we're going to have to start Eric Rowe. But other than that, the Dolphins, I don't know how to predict kind of what's to come because of the injuries right now. But right now, I'm just hoping that our offense can come back together like it was before the injury for Tua, and that we can come back to a top 5 offense. And but other than that, I'm just excited we got the W. And I know I want to talk about the Packers and the Bucks a little bit, and I'm sure Kai's going to be talking about that on the podcast. The Packers, they haven't been the best, and we all know that, but they do have the talent to win, but I feel like they're not feeding people the ball enough to win. Like, for example, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is one of your best players on that team. You have to feed him. And as soon as you feed him, you will score. And just like that, he throws a halfback wheel to Aaron Jones for the touchdown in the end zone because he can catch. You have to use him more in that game. You don't have the best catchers in the world. You don't have receivers that have lightning speed and that have the best hands. You have to utilize Aaron Jones as a receiver. And you can use A.J. Dillon as a third down back when you need the first. But I don't know. I'm not a Packers fan, but I feel even angry about it because they need to utilize them more. They need to utilize Aaron Jones a lot more than they should. And when they did, they almost came back and beat the Commanders. It should be very obvious on what's needed. And it feels like nothing is being shown. Like, you have Aaron Jones. Do they not know how good Aaron Jones actually is? He is insane. And they need to utilize him more. So hopefully they can come back and they can utilize Aaron Jones more. And not even just for fantasy purposes, but for the Packers in general to win ball games. Because you need to win. And also for Tampa Bay. Now, I know the reason why they're not winning. But, it's Tom Brady, so you think you should win. But it's not looking good for them at all. And it starts with Tom Brady. Tom Brady, it's Tom Brady. This is what happens when you take an 11-day vacation off of the reasons that we should already know, and now you see what happens. It's the same roster, basically the same roster when they won the Super Bowl. And you see the difference when Tom Brady isn't at practices or nothing. It's not like the leader that he used to be. So I'm a little concerned about that and how he's going. But other than that, with that division, they seem like that they could still make the playoffs. It's kind of like the NFC East. That's how it looks like, because I think the Buccaneers are 3-4 in their first in their division. Speaking of the NFC East, that is probably the best division right now in football, which is a crazy thing to say, knowing that, they have the Giants, who usually aren't good. It's usually just the Cowboys and the Eagles. And usually if you guys didn't know, but back then, during the COVID year, the football team made the playoffs at 7-9. So there's an example of how that division usually is. But it's very crazy how good that division is now, and knowing that the Giants are 6-1 and have a pretty easy schedule along the way. And I see them; they could possibly go 9-1 before they play the Cowboys for Week 11, which is pretty crazy. But obviously, the Eagles are the best team in that division, hands down. Until I see otherwise, they're the best team in that division, and I just don't see anybody stopping them at the moment. And as we're making this, also, the Chiefs got Kadarius Toney. Now, and I know Kai's probably going to be talking about that, but as you may know, I'm a Florida fan, and this dude is a star, especially in that Chiefs offense. There is no way that he's not going to get touches from how quick he is and his agility and how quick he can juke somebody. That is a big pickup, and that's just going to be big to beat the Bills, because you need weapons to beat the Bills. And trust me, I know. Even though we did beat the Bills, but, events happen. So we're probably going to get killed. But anyways, also the Jets. I'm very pissed that the Jets are good, but at the same time, it's like, you got to give it to them. I mean, they haven't really been this successful. This has been the talk of the town for a while, so you kind of like to see it, but at the same time, you don't. But as long as the Dolphins make the playoffs, Jets can be in the second seed. I don't care. As long as we make the playoffs, that's all I care about, and us just getting better all around. And and I know we don't really talk about basketball that much, but the Orlando Magic suck. All right, that's my favorite team. We got the number 1 draft pick. He's averaging 20 a game. We still cannot win. I thought we could at least win a couple games and might make the playoffs. But no. My hopes are gone. They're already gone. We're 0-5. I'm done. I'm done with it. But on the other hand, Florida plays Georgia this week. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna lose by like 30 probably, but yeah.
Okay, so welcome back, and Frankie, thank you for being a great host, and thank you for recording that segment for me, because we missed you here on the pod. And yeah, so I just wanted to hit on some more things with the NFL. Today we got the Ravens, the Bucks, and the Bucks. My dearest friend Tom Brady, who I love so very, very much, sucks. He lost to the Carolina Panthers. And, yeah, I know that we lost to the Commanders, but this is the Commanders at least have Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. You have Brian Robinson, who is doing better and getting better. You have Antonio Gibson. They have weapons. Only DJ Moore is in Carolina. DJ Moore and Brian Burns. Brian Burns is on defense, but DJ Moore specifically. And you lose. You don't score a touchdown. At least Aaron Rodgers threw for 2. He threw for 2 touchdowns. It was an abysmal showing, but he still threw for 2 touchdowns. You couldn't throw for 1, Tom Brady. And sure, bring up the video of Mike Evans missing a catch. All of Aaron Rodgers' receivers had at least 1 drop in the game against the Commanders. And yeah, you have 1. Good for you. I hope with everything that the Ravens destroy the Buccaneers. I know this is going to blow up in my face as soon as the Buccaneers win, but I'm hoping that the Ravens win so badly. But while we're on the topic of choosing who to win, let's go through the Week 8 schedule and pick our winners and losers. So, Ravens, Buccaneers, Ravens. Broncos, Jaguars, Jaguars. Broncos suck. Russell Wilson, corniest player in the NFL, because they're in London this week. And he said at a press conference yesterday morning that on their flight to London, he was doing workouts in the aisle because he's still rehabbing. Just let that sink in, please. No, sit down. Watch the Lego Batman movie like I have on a plane. Relax. You're going to play terribly anyway, so what is it going to matter? Yeah, doing workouts on the plane just makes your teammates despise you. Dolphins, Lions. Sorry, Lions. It's going to be Dolphins for a multitude of reasons. Panthers, Falcons. I'm going Falcons. They need to throw the ball. You drafted Kyle Pitts with the 4th overall pick, the highest a tight end has ever been drafted. And then you spent, the 9th overall pick on Drake London this year? And you threw the ball 13 times when you were never losing by less than 14 last week. And you threw the ball 13 times in total. Your run game isn't that good because Cordero Patterson's gone. You have Tyler Algier, and you're running the ball for 98% of the game. Idiotic. Cardinals, Vikings. D-Hop is back. D-Hop is not even just back. He's back. I'm going Cardinals on this one. Bears, Cowboys. Cowboys. Told you I'd never root for the Bears. And even when they were winning against Patriots, I wasn't rooting for them. So we got the Raiders and the Saints. Raiders, Devontae Adams is the king of all kings. Steelers, Eagles. Eagles by... I don't even know if I can count that high. It's an exponential number. Like, it's something to the times 10 to the power of 8 million. That's how much the Eagles are going to win by. Patriots, Jets. Jets, Mac Jones is a fraud. Bailey Zappi is a fraud. Bill Belichick, fraud. Just makes sense. Titans, Texans. I'm going Titans, even though Ryan Tannehill is still hurt. But you still have Derrick Henry. Has never rushed for under 150 yards, I don't think, against the Texans, and I don't think that he's going to break that streak. Giants, Seahawks. Giants, but it could be close. Seahawks are still a pretty good team, but obviously the Giants are good as well. Commanders, Colts. The Colts benched Matt Ryan. Okay, get that. So everybody knows about the 28-3 comeback that the Patriots led against the Falcons. And obviously the Falcons at that time were led by Matt Ryan. Guess how long Matt Ryan's tenure as the starter for the Colts lasted? 28 weeks and 3 days. 28-3, and he loses his job to Sam Ehlinger. Have you ever heard of Sam Ehlinger? That's what I thought. So yeah, I don't think that the Colts are going to win this one. The Commanders are coming off a win against the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to cry. They're going to beat the Colts. 49ers, Rams. I'm surprised they're already playing this early. Because, normally they don't. And it's weird. They already played them this year. So I'm going to go 49ers because Kyle Shanahan just has the Rams ticket. Always has. Even if they're a worse team, still does. And you got Christian McCaffrey, my friend. Packers, Bills. I guess because I'm not making the graphics anymore, that I don't have to be entirely correct, so I'm still going to go with the Packers. My heart says the Packers, my brain says the Bills. So we'll see who wins this one. Bengals, Browns, Bengals. No further explanation. That's just all I need to say is the Cincinnati Bengals. They're coming on again this year, which is good because they started out really slowly. But they're starting to pick it up, and that's all that matters because you just got to get hot at the right times in the NFL. It doesn't matter how you start. Yeah, obviously you want to make the playoffs, but when you're doing pretty well after week 4, you're going to make the playoffs. So I don't see anything wrong with that. What I do see something wrong with is the fact that my trainer made me do squats that go all the way to the ground, and I can't walk right now. It sucks. I poke my thigh, and I can feel it. And no, nothing's torn, but it's just so sore beyond belief. It's not even funny. So I don't know if I'll keep you updated on that, but it's just it'll be an interesting time. I can tell you that for now. But yeah, I think it could be time to send it off because we had that segment from Frankie, which is great. So join us next week, every single Thursday at 6:00, and I always try to get it out to you guys. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Look for us on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. That's everywhere that you get podcasts. We are on there because we're official. We're everything like that. If you want to send in some listener questions, because we haven't had any in a while, and it would be great to send some in, either email us at amateursportsfocus@gmail.com or DM us on TikTok or Instagram. And make sure, obviously, to go follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We post highlights there. We just post behind the scenes stuff. And be on the lookout for early next week. of my live reaction to the Bills-Packers game on Sunday Night Football. Please. I can't promise you a Packers win, but I can promise you that video will be hilarious. So, of course, check it out. It'll be a great time. I might even get my roommate to join me in because he doesn't love football, but I might get him to watch this one just to see if he can join in with my reaction. So check us out on everything. It's been a great time. And for Frankie and myself, peace.